It's not a, secret attraction between objects. He says these things have mass and they create curvature in something he calls space-time. Think of space as an infinity elastic rubber. You take something like sun, you plug it in there, it will create a dent, right? Now, if you put, let's do this with a heavy bowling ball, it will create a dent. And I'm going to take a little small ball, like maybe a baseball. I'm going to leave it close to that dent. You're going to see that that small baseball is going to start orbiting the bowling ball because it follows the curvature. Okay, that's it. That was the genius of Einstein. It took him 10 years to figure out the math. Then he showed people that even light bends around. We'll talk about that one day because I have only about 5 minutes. So uh, participation is going to be 30% of grade. By the way, if you're not here without an excuse, your name comes up, you're not here, it's as if you were here and you got a zero. Okay? So it's not just attendance. So make sure that you have excuses. And we actually have a system of grading that's somewhat, if you're zero, if you're not here, you get that. You could have not even ugly answer. It basically, if you say, man, I don't know, don't bother me with this, that's a not even ugly answer. Ugly means you haven't said much. Bad, good, better, pretty, most pretty. If you don't like those tags, I can change them. I just came up with them. If I can somehow convince IT to have an FTP server for me, I can even allow you guys to grade your friends' answers, and we could do half and half. But I don't know what they'll be able to do, or I can figure out a different way of automatically polling you guys. I mean, I can do it in Google form, but I want immediate access to that. If I had an FTP server, I could, but maybe I'll figure out a different way. And some of this stuff is going to be as groups. I don't know. We're going to have a cumulative final. That's going to be 20% of grade. It's basically everything. So that's 50, 60. Actually, no, that's going to be 35. And on Thursdays, we're going to play a game called Jeopardy. That's 35% of the grade. I'll explain how it works more later, but it looks something like this. I designed this myself. It is a modified Jeopardy game. Every day we play Jeopardy. I randomly pick four of your groups. Those are the contestants. Let's say you guys are the groups. You go first and you say, can I get relevant cash flow for 100, please? I open the question. And you think about it. You give me an answer. You say A. And I randomly select somebody other than that group as a designated challenger. Let's say you're the designated challenger. So you verbally are going to tell me, if you don't want to speak, you can use, sign language, whether you agree with them. If you agree, that means they're right, you get one, they're wrong, you get zero. You can disagree, which means I know they're wrong, but I don't know what the right answer is, or I don't want to commit to the right answer. If they're wrong, you get one. If they're right, you get zero. You can also challenge them. You basically say, uh, the answer is E. If it is E, you're right, you get 1.5 points, 50% bump. If they're right, they're going to go medieval on you. You get negative 0.5. If you're both wrong, you both get zero. Okay. Then the rest of you using a Google form. is going to play the same game but silently. The questions that you answer as a group counts 4 times as much as questions you answer as the silent challenger. If you're doing designated, that's 3 times as much. By the way, even the group members that pick the question have to do the silent. I want that for 2 reasons. One, after hearing whether somebody disagreed with you, you may want to change your answer. So you may disagree with your own answer, or you may challenge your answer. Or one of the group members do not agree with the group decision. They want to say, okay, I said fine, but I'm going to challenge you. You know, if you know anything about Germans are probably the only country that comes up with a single word for the concept of enjoying or getting pleasure to the from the misery of others, Schadenfreude. So I like Schadenfreude quite a bit. Okay, you pray that the group is going to give the wrong answer because you can challenge and get high marks. The average Jeopardy grade in average class is typically about 80-85%. Oh, I also allow you to talk to each other. Jeopardy is not an exam. It is a classroom activity where we think about stuff. Because once everybody's done, you're going to think about why that answer is correct. And I'm going to mark your participation in that as well. Because you said so is a completely correct answer, but it's completely useless. Okay? Just because I said so doesn't mean anything. Why I said it so. Okay. Even if God told you, which may or may not be correct, I don't judge, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay. Why is and how are the questions that we're going to look into. All right. And that's also another 35% of your grade. So basically, if I have not screwed up my arithmetic, yeah, actually, I have screwed up my arithmetic. Just a second. Mm, 20, 30, 45. I mean, at a minimum, 55, 65% of the grades depends on stuff that happens in class, right? So A, be here, and B, be part of the class. If you want to sleep during the class, that's fine. If that random number brings up your number, that's it. I don't care whether you're sleeping, whether you needed to sleep. Again, if you're not here on Jeopardy days, it's as if you were here and you answered all the questions wrong, right? So make sure you have a really valid excuse on those days. On Thursday and next week, I'm going to kind of do a little review of time value of the money, present value, future value. But I'm going to do that using some of the little Excel skills that I'm going to show you guys. We're going to actually build a calculator that's going to handle very complicated retirement planning problem in 2-3 clicks. I'll show you how to do things in a civilized manner. If you want to do it uncivilized using algebra, nothing wrong with that. You do you, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it in a civilized manner. I'm a goddamn freaking surgeon with algebra. I mean, I can derive Black-Scholes differential equation in my sleep without looking at anything. That doesn't mean I'm any better than you are. What matters is what do I do with that Black-Scholes differential equation, which is used in value and options and stuff. It's basically a parlor trick that I can do algebra. That's how they trained us. I mean, I was not allowed to use a calculator until junior year in college. I took a mathematical statistics class, took exams without calculators. Not because I chose to do so, we weren't allowed. I understand that was too much, but so they trained us. It's a completely useless skill now. in this day of age of AI. So I'm going to show you a lot of shortcuts in Excel. You can basically take your take my sheet that we're going to develop. If I ask you a bond pricing problem, all you have to do is use the template, or I call them the abacus. Use the bond pricing abacus. All you have to do is enter the inputs. If I ask you what is the rate that you need to earn, all you have to do is enter the inputs, choose your unknown. My sheet does it automatically. You can take the same skill and transport it into something. You can take that sheet and translate it into a break-even analyzer. You have a complicated sheet for your firm. It calculates your profit, sales, whatever. And your boss wanted to know what's the break-even sales amount. Depending upon how complicated it is, if you want to do it by algebra, that's complicated. Try another, please. All you have to do is use my sheet, make your sales as the unknown with a target of zero profit. It does the rest yourself. Again, it's civilized. You can translate things. Okay? That's what mathematics is. I'm going to teach you that mindset as well. Math is the art of reducing a problem into things you know how to do. In retirement planning, I'm going to teach you only two things: how to calculate present value of future cash flows, how to calculate future value of past cash flows. And just using those two skills alone, you'll be able to solve very complicated retirement planning problems with 2 clicks, maybe 3, after you enter the inputs. And if one of the inputs change, all you have to do is just change that input. Done. That's called civilized, but it's also mathematics. I'm using the skills that I know: present value, future value. The rest is using those skills properly. I'll see you guys Thursday. Remember, if you're going to be late, let me know. If you were late today, I didn't care because you didn't know. Now you do.